This week on Hot Scores for Yo Fat Ass, footballers and Nissan Micros, Liverpool have actually scored some goals. St Pauli Ultras, the Anfield Rap and Empire of the Cop, thechive.com. Valencia lost 5-1 to Barca. Their little Argentine midfielder, Banega, fractured his tibia and peroné bones by running his own leg over with his Nissan Micra. And why the hell would anyone want to drive a Nissan Micra anyway? Even if you're a little on the impecunious side, surely there are better options for wheels.
What does impecunious mean?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Impecunious? Not the opposite of cunious.
It means you're a little bit poor.
Oh, okay, right, I should know then.
Yeah, poor people don't know, that's the thing.
I should have made you go and look that up actually, David, as punishment for being illiterate.
Being a twat.
You're poor, Dave.
Apparently he didn't apply the handbrake and the car ran his leg left over. Well done there, mate. Here's another clip of him on a golf weekend. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Okay. I'll stay on this side for sure. Look at what's more progress. I got it. Oh shit! Oh shit! I'm good! Oh shit! Oh shit! I'm good!
And we are spoiling you today as we've unearthed another clip of him later on that evening with a few beers, along with the tapas.
Go street, keep running, quad!
Oh, the shame. Back to business now. Liverpool, with all their strength, depth and might, have finally spat out a scoreline worthy of their illustrious history against clunky old Brighton. With, what was it, how many own goals?
Yeah, that's three.
Well, the point is, the Anfield Rap actually made a good point about this. Have we just found the right level for us, basically? Is it a good win, or is it just the right level?
But I tell you, it's a horror show for Brighton, isn't it? It's just absolutely terrible.
I felt for them. I felt for them.
Did you?
Well, but when three of them go, you did the guy who juggled the ball into the net. I was like, oh, you can't laugh then. I thought, yeah, I
They
felt
must
for
have
them.
just been so nervous playing against Liverpool.
Maybe.
It must have been like, they must have been that they couldn't rise to the occasion on the cup tie.
Yeah.
Enough of that, mate.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Anyway, 6-1. It's a cracking scoreline, no matter how you look at it, even with a missed penalty. Good to see Andy Carroll getting busy with a silky goal, and he definitely must have felt at home playing against a championship side. Ooh. Right, Liverpool, they could potentially do the double this year, but I think that will just paper over the cracks that need filling. How about Fabio to manage around? Fabio Capello, someone like that?
No, I wouldn't want Capello. I think he's a good manager. I think Chelsea and Capello could go well together.
Something pragmatic.
Yeah, I don't think Liverpool and Capello would work well. I mean, I'm happy to keep Dalglish for a little while. Like, let's see what he does next season. You know, I'll give two managers. Maybe should give 2 seasons. They should get 2 seasons.
2 seasons?
1 season is not enough. You know.
Unless you're Avram Grant.
Yeah, Frank Grant.
Bruce Rioch.
Well, I don't really think that Kenny has the chops and vision to get Liverpool going smoothly in the league. You know, it's got all the passion and the fire, and that's perfect for domestic cup runs. But the marathon of the league needs a more strategic approach. Get the boys firing on all 4 cylinders. Hot Scores retrospective now for you. Craig Bellamy. Even though he's still going strong, it seems that he's been enough of a journeyman to warrant a retro, I think. Craig is doing all right considering his injury history, and I'm mightily impressed that he has set up a football academy in Sierra Leone and does a lot for charity. I really like the way he reads the game, and he can make great connections when he has compatible players around him. Works well with Rodriguez. Don't really get to see it that often, but I'd say that's a good little pair up. Now, in a super studded Hot Scores feature, we have 2 of the biggest Liverpool fan sites telling us about their favourite all-time red. First up is the award-winning Anfield Rap.
All-time favourite Liverpool player. How can you pick your all-time favourite Liverpool player? We've been lucky to have so many. Normally I'd maybe go for Kenny Dalglish, but with him being back as the manager now, I decided today I'd go with John Barnes. He joined us in 1987, he cost us £900,000 and he made a big difference to the way we were playing. It was maybe because I was starting to go to the match more, it was that time of my life when I was able to get to more games. I got to see him in the flesh. It was absolutely brilliant to watch him, and the way we played, his role in that team played a big part in the excitement of the way we played. We didn't just win the league that first season by winning games, we won them by winning games in style. I thought it was a great season, and he was a great player. He was with us for quite a number of years. By the time he was ready to move on, he'd had a stint at centre midfield, but it was over on the left wing where he really did his stuff, where he performed his magic and where he made the difference. England weren't so keen on him. England fans didn't like him. That's maybe why we liked him just that little bit more. We don't boo our own players. So, all-time favourite for me, John Barnes.
And now we have Antoine from Empire of the Cop, and he is telling us about his favourite all-time Liverpool player.
My favourite Liverpool player of all time has to be the king himself, Ken Dalglish. Many Liverpool supporters and Liverpool historians would agree with me that there hasn't been any other player. We look back, we can see other players that made an impact on the club, but no one as much as Kenny. As a player, he was tremendous. I'm privileged to remember him playing when I was a kid, so it does lend to maybe a little bit of bias, but without a doubt, he was simply amazing. He'd get the ball, and you'd guarantee that Kenny would pretty much put that ball in the net if he was in the box. And Kenny had one more thing going for him too. He was very, very smart, so he could think of many ways to outsmart his opponents.
Right, a bit of Twitter time for you. Did you know that the first tweeting footballer was Wycombe Wanderers forwards at JMC Spoz69 way back in the day, 2007? Another firm favourite on Twitter is Leon Knight, who also likes to be known as Gold, or G-O-L-D. Nothing to do with the Holy Grail quest, I hope, Mr. Knight. Leon is the first player to have been banned from playing because of comments he made on our beloved social networking site. He got the boot from Coleraine because they couldn't be bothered to keep paying for his travel to Northern Ireland, and he wouldn't move over there. He now plays for Glentoran, who are appealing the ban as he didn't make the comments while signed to them. He truly believes that Joe Cole is the best English player since Gaza. Oh, there's hardly abundance of choices, is there? Who do you think, Dave, is the best English player since Gaza?
Just probably Theo Walcott.
Yeah?
Since Gaza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could it be Joe
Could it
Cole?
be Steven Gerrard?
Could it be Steven Gerrard?
What, but he's better than Joe Cole. Sorry.
So no, not
Well, actually,
Leon Knight.
Joe Cole is doing very well in France, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah.
I hear he's knocking it around. But French league, any good? Any good? I haven't watched French football for a long time.
Well, it's on the up, but it's not been.
Yeah.
It's not been.
I'll go for Gerrard, thanks.
Gerrard, Walcott.
Walcott, yeah.
Best English player since Gaza.
Why that evokes such laughter? It says everything.
Yeah, Walcott, the best player since. Well, why say since Gaza? Best English player, surely.
Ever.
Yeah.
There you go, Theo Walcott.
I pay to see him run.
I'm not going to say Frank Lampard, that would be silly.
No. Who do you
No
reckon?
shit for England.
Who do you reckon?
I think I'm going with you on Steven Gerrard because he's really, he's a damn
Overall.
fine footballer.
Overall, he's got to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Definitely. I mean, he hasn't got that sort of sparkle that Gaza had, but he is a very complete footballer.
Yeah, overall, he could talent-wise, he's got to.
And he's very commanding as well.
Yeah, I put him as
He's commanding of other players and commanding of his
Yeah, people trust him, and he's also not as much as
Yeah.
he had a little bit of trouble in some nightclub. He generally, apart from that, has kept his nose clean in other areas. You know, he had a mistake,
Unlike Robbie Fowler.
but yeah.
A memorable Twitter battle for me was when Ollie Holt, Mirror Journo, posted the contents of a direct message from Rio Ferdinand on the timeline. Rio took exception to Ollie mentioning his drug ban in an article and sent him a message to the effect of "You fat, see you next Tuesday," etc., etc. And Ollie stuck it on the timeline, bang out of order.
You like him, don't you?
Cheap.
Excuse me.
He's not worth a follow anyway. It's just full of cliches.
You would never find me siding with Ferdinand on much, but I agree with him on this one.
This week's Ultras, as promised last week, are those of St. Pauli in Hamburg. Our David went to see a game there last year, which is a feat in itself. They're 3 divisions down and it's almost impossible to get in. That's fan loyalty for you. Definitely don't see that in the Premier League. These fans are socialist, aggressively anti-fascist, anti-homophobic, anti-state, but pro all that's good and real in football. The fans really do have a say on how the club is run. They control the merchandise, and at least 75% of the ground is kept terrace. And they run out to AC/DC's Hell Bells. What more could you ask for? David, tell us about St. Pauli.
I was really lucky to get in. It was a friend of a friend, and even though that was their first season in the Bundesliga, they've been 3 divisions below, and you just can't get in. And I was looking at the ultras at one end behind the goal, and they had 2 massive giant flags with pink hearts on, which I thought was quite cool. Then the other end, every now and again, a random sign would come up like punk rock, and, rock and roll, stuff like that. But it reminded me of going back sort of 20 odd years in English football, just walking onto the terrace, the fences, everyone drinking beer, weed everywhere, kids hanging off the fences, just non-stop singing. And the thing that shocked me was when they did I thought it must have been some sort of centenary, because the team went round the edge of the pitch really slowly. This went off about half an hour, the whole place going crazy. Said to the guy,
That's just a standard, didn't
yeah,
you?
he said, what's going on? He said, I do this every game. And when they went past, none of the Werder Bremen fans had left. They waited for St. Pauli to get in front of them, and then they all went, St. Pauli! And all bowing to St.
There's
Pauli.
like massive mutual respect.
It's like a party. It's like a party.
Yeah,
isn't it?
they're just they're the boys, I think.
They got
Cult
a train.
following.
They got a train as well that goes around the VIP area carrying sausages that you can just take out as well. Apparently.
What more could
There
you
are
want?
veggie sausages on there. as well.
I assume so. If anyone's going to have veggie sausages, it's going to be St. Pauli. Isn't it?
Of course they are.
Of course.
Yeah, they
Top
blast
boys.
out loads of techno around the ground before the game. Wicked.
And David, you can't see him, but he's wearing a St. Pauli t-shirt today, which is nice.
Represent.
For another week. Thanks for tuning in. Please do come back next week, and thanks for all the retweets, especially Leroy Lita and Danny Graham. Mwah. Hot Score's awesome goal of the week is a bit of a treat. We're bigging up thechive.com, where they compile the hottest goals just for you. Here's one seriously sporty one to kick off.